Hey, thank you so much for tuning in again. I really hope you've been enjoying the conversations I've been having with Mr. Andrew Mura, who is a licensed advocate of the High Court of Kenya and hopefully soon the UK as well. He specializes in conveyancing and commercial transactions as well as arbitration. So stay tuned. I'm going to get more detailed about this payment issue and the social pressures around facilitation fees. You're watching Online in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe. So Andrew, as we're having this conversation, I'm sure you could hear the production guy behind there itching to ask you a question.
Yes.
Because, he claims that I'm not normal for not wanting to bribe, which I don't agree with.
Yes.
I think everyone in general wants to do the right thing.
Yes.
My customers do. I mean, a lot of our customers have waited. The guy who wanted to buy the property, we had to wait a whole year. I explained to them, I'm sorry, it's taken long, but this is a situation. And they said to me, listen, Solomon, I'm with you. We want to do it right with your company. So just let us know when it's ready. We're not going away. Yes. Right? So I find that customers and people in general do want to do the right thing. So, this whole notion of, some of us are different, I'm not so sure. But, hey, ask your question.
What question?
So he was wondering, how do you handle that expectation?
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys who bribes and labels it facilitation fees?
Allow me to say thank you for your question. Well, the truth is this.
Yeah.
It all depends on the tone you set at the point of engagement with the client and for the client when they engage with the lawyer. We've had instances, even before we have gotten to the point of billing for a particular transaction, where a client will ask, how long will it take to do this process? It's in our interest, because we do not want to, facilitate. It's in our interest to give...
And by facilitate, you mean bribe?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
We do not want to bribe anyone.
Right.
It's in our interest to give the client a reasonable
timeline,
for that process to start and end.
Right.
So I have in mind 2 transactions I can say where we've had with Goshen Acquisitions, and they've asked us, do you think you can... Some title deeds got lost. We want to replace them. We really need these titles for purposes of sales. How soon can we get them? Upon our research, upon our speaking to the different registries, because they're related to 2 different registries, we found that not only... we went ahead and we've already put the adverts in the newspapers, the Kenyan dailies, but from there's a process of gazettement in the Kenya Gazette. And that process takes no less than 60 days for the public to be made aware that Goshen Acquisitions want a title replacement. Is there anyone out there who thinks they should not,
who
or
lays claim
who lays claim and all this?
Right.
Now, if you're going to talk about the bribery way, you'll say, hey, you know what? I'm sure at the Kenya Gazette you can minimize that day or backdate the
oh my God,
the advertisement so that it catches a period of less than 60 days.
Right.
We don't do that. So because we don't do that, we tell the client, look, this will not take you anything less than 90 days, for example.
Because
we'd rather,
the
first 60 days are just for gazettement, and then now the entire process of trying to get the title out will take another 30 days.
And that's so the 60-day gazettement period is a policy issue. It's what the law requires,
It's what the law requires. What the law requires is if a title is lost, if there is a name change is not even affected by that, but generally speaking, for title that's been lost,
to replace.
or even succession cases where
Yes.
someone has passed away and their land needs to be transferred from him to other beneficiaries.
Yes.
Those beneficiaries are normally gazetted, so that you know when you say that the land has been, the title has been lost and you want to replace the title, no one is laying a claim on that.
Right.
So the gazettement process is required by law.
Right.
Circumventing it is what people do when they want to.
They want it done faster.
They want it done faster.
Right.
Yeah, cut corners. They want to cut corners. So and you'll be surprised. Sometimes they say, yes, it's the lawyers themselves who are at fault for bribing in order to get their legal fees. But truth be told, business people also want to make things go faster. So I think the challenge really is also upon government institutions to hasten these processes that have been laid down by law. You can imagine gazettement used to be something that was there before social media. No one knew about something for, when someone passed away, you had to put it in the newspaper, and then it takes so long for people to actually know that that person passed away. But in this day and age of, media, maybe this idea of gazettement for 60 days
could be digitized
and make it shorter. Though the truth be told, not everyone is digitized, so it's it's a bit of a.
But not everyone can afford a newspaper either.
That's true.
So the same argument holds true there. But that's thanks for explaining that, because that touches heavily on why even people like me who are involved in the buying and selling, the trading of land. I mean, obviously, I would rather get my title deed in a month and sell it to the next person so that I get my money sooner than have to wait a year, because I don't want to bribe 5,000 bobs, right? But you need to have your own moral compass about that. I'm not going to lecture people on what's right, what's wrong, but fact of the matter is corruption of any kind is illegal. So it's important that you do things right. And this is why sometimes your legal fees for certain transactions can be haywire, because the advocate has accounted for that facilitation fee, because it's not coming out of your pocket, right? It has to come from my pocket, assuming I am okay with it. So guys, don't do that. Please just do it right, do it clean. We need to do our part to contribute to bringing law and order and sanity in this here lovely country of ours, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, man, I could go a million different directions with that one, but I'll let it rest. If you guys have any more questions about that particular issue, please let us know. We're happy to hear from you. Send an email directly to Mr. Andrew Mura. His email address is just below, and check out his website. As I've mentioned before, we have used them and are currently using them to help us with a number of transactions. I don't deal with quirks. I want my stuff done right in a professional manner. There are many other advocates out there like Andrew. Do your part, do your due diligence on them, and you should be on the right track. So stay tuned for more information about legal processes in the land transaction. You're watching Online in Kenya, and I'm Solomon Wangwe.